Hi everyone, my name is Dolph. I'm a realtor with Unique Places team at Keller Williams Property. Today I'm gonna have an interview with my favorite title reps, and I use them a lot in my last transaction. They were phenomenal. I'm gonna have them introduce themselves. What I want you to do is stick to the end of the video because we're gonna talk about a lot of information that you should know when going and buying title insurance. So thank you so much for coming today. I enjoyed my transaction last time when I sold my property. I want you to tell me your name, tell the audience, and the company name, and how long you've been in business.
Well, thank you, first of all, for having us.
Yeah,
very
absolutely.
Much.
It's
We're
good to see you again.
To be here. Yeah,
Super
doing
fun.
this. This is good for us. Would you like to go first, or would you
Sure.
like me?
I will.
Okay.
Yes.
Caitlyn Stearns.
Take the reign.
Yeah, okay. I'm jumping in. Caitlyn Stearns with Fidelity National Title, and I have been in the title business for 36 years.
Amazing.
Yikes.
Amazing. Yikes or amazing? For me, amazing.
And I am Michelle Klein, also with Fidelity National Title. And funny, we were just kind of calculating the years. I thought it was 36 years. I
Yes,
want to say 36 years. But in doing the math, I just realized I have been in this industry now 38 years.
That's a
yes.
good thing.
Yeah.
So my back is covered because when I
Yes.
ask you a question, you answer me. So my follow-up question is, who needs a title and why title insurance?
So basically when it comes to getting in title insurance, anyone, if you're buying, selling, refinancing, every person needs to have title insurance across
Definitely.
the board. Yeah. They need to have that for the borrowers and the buyer, the lender who's giving those loans on those property, those policies are insuring the lender, so that the for the borrower side. For the buyers, they also need the policy as well, so that they know that they've gotten clear title, and anything that was showing up maybe on the title insurance from a previous owner, that they are protected.
Awesome.
Yes.
Awesome. I think that's a good thing to have, to be protected, because it's a little bit large of an investment.
Absolutely.
So you have
It
to have a
is
good
their
title
biggest for many
insurance.
people.
Yes.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So my next question would be, what is the difference between the lender policy and the owner policy?
That is a great
They
question,
are
Dolph. I love
totally
it.
different.
There
They
are
are.
two different policies. So the owner's policy, just in what it says, owner's policy, that is insuring that owner, that new owner coming into title. And like I had touched on a little bit, it's giving them, we give them clear title. So anything that's been on their property prior, they're clear of that. There's no liens or judgments or all that's been cleared off. They're insured on that. So it's protecting them again, kind of leading back to that previous question.
Chain of title is protected and no cloud on the title.
Correct.
Exactly.
Yeah, and then there was something else.
The lender,
lender
the lender policy.
Yeah, so and the lender's policy, that is ensuring that lender giving that loan. So basically with those policies, do you have the owner's policy? Typically, we're here in California, the seller is going to pay for the cost of an owner's policy.
Okay.
That as these matters get cleared off, when they sell this home to the buyer, that they're giving clear title to that buyer. And then for the lender's policy, the buyer pays that cost because they're getting a loan. So for example, if they were coming in paying cash, they wouldn't
Then
need
you don't
a
need.
yeah, we would just have the owner's policy. So the way we do it here, typically it's the owner's policy is calculated based on whatever the sales price amount of that home was, and the lender's
Prorated
yes
to that.
would be to the loan amount on the lender's policy.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So my favorite question is, what is the prelim report?
The preliminary.
I know
Yes,
what it is, but
yeah.
I want to educate my viewers.
Yeah.
Yes.
Absolutely. So no one knows.
Take
what
that
prelim-
in.
Yeah, I'll jump in on that one. Prelim report. We call them a prelim all the time.
Yes, short for
preliminary
preliminary title report.
Title report. So when you open escrow, the title order gets opened with us, and we issue what's called the preliminary title report. What that is going to do is we're going to research, we're going to look at that chain of title. We are going to show all items that are recorded against that property. So anything, any loans that have not been paid off, any liens, judgments, anything like that that will need to be addressed prior to close so that the new buyer has clear title, and then other items that maybe run with the property, CC&Rs, easements, different things recorded against the property that will continue to show on that property. But it's really important to get that early on, because there's items that escrow will then need to order demands on, things that need to be paid off, and we need time to get all those items cleared.
Awesome. So my next question would be a little bit complicated. What is vesting means, and what are the type of vesting?
I was going to say, which one of us? I'll jump in. No, so vesting's how you're holding title to that property. So when you buy,
simple as
I mean, and when you buy property, you will have here in California a grant deed, and that will say that you're holding title as whether it's joint tenants in common. There's several different ways. We always recommend talking to your attorney or CPA to find out what is the best way to hold title for your specific situation, because everyone's situation is different.
Exactly.
But there's several different ways. There's joint tenancy, community property right of survivorship, tenants in common, trust, LLC, partnership. I mean, there's a lot of different ways, and each one has some differences as far as right of survivorship. Do you want this to go to your heir? I mean, there's just different ways. So that's why we always say, check with your attorney.
So parties will put their name on it, but it has to be then how are those parties to the treasury, how are they holding the title, like Caitlyn said? And just for example, why we suggest talking to your CPA or attorney, because with a joint tenant, for example, let's say we hold the property as joint, we own it as joint tenants. And if I were to pass away before you, well, joint tenants comes with a right of survivorship. So you automatically will get that property without having to go through probate or anything like that. But it's varying, if you have ownership interests that we want percentages broken down, there's tenants in common, there's a lot of different ways, and it's really specific on to the individual on how they're wanting that done. So we definitely need to.
Awesome. It's really good, and I agree. You guys have to figure out what type of vesting that works for you, and always ask a professional like an attorney, your CPA. They can guide you through that, and you make the best decision, and they can help you when you want to buy a title. But we cannot recommend for you, because I am not a CPA. They are not a CPA. So the choice is yours. So my next question is, what kind of situations that you see commonly when selling using a trust?
So if the trust is a seller, and we see this a lot right now, we on the title side are going to want to know that whoever is signing on behalf of that trust has the right to sign.
Okay.
So
very important.
Yeah. Is it, and we're always going to protect their interests and protect the trust and what was written in the trust. So is it the original trustees that are signing, or is it a successor trustee that's signing? And then we're going to want to see copies, an actual copy of the trust, to make sure that the person signing has the right to sell and has the right to sign on behalf of that trust.
Exactly. Awesome. I think it makes sense. It makes sense to me. So my last question is, can you tell us more about the power of attorney and how it works? Because I really want to know about it. I keep hearing about it, but I would love to hear your
and you've probably, we've talked about it in meetings too, where we always advise, if a power of attorney is going to be used, please let title know right away. So
you heard it. So
please.
Yes.
If someone is using a power of attorney, and there's lots of reasons to use one, the first question title is always going to ask is why. We want to know why that seller cannot sign the deed themselves.
Correct.
So based on whatever that answer may be, is it for convenience? Are they out of the country? Are they not well? Are they ill? Or what reason is it? We may have follow-up questions to that. So if someone, say, is not, they had the power of attorney because the person wasn't well, but then when was the power of attorney signed? And were they okay to sign that power of attorney when they signed it? We are always going to watch out for the interests of that owner to make sure that whoever is signing on their behalf has that right.
Perfect.
Yeah, and the other thing, even going back to the trust, like we were saying, I mean, let us know up front if a power of attorney is going to be used, because you know, an heir may be using a power of attorney if their family member is sick, but the property is already in a trust, but they're going to sell with a power of attorney. Well, not all trusts will
They
allow for a power of attorney. So we need to know that if anyone's considering power of attorney, we need to know that up front, just so we can
to correct it,
yeah,
or like
just to see what we're going to need, or if it's even possible to use. You know, what's
exactly
gonna be
that's
yes.
actually good to know.
Yes.
That's good to know.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for your time, and I hope you enjoyed this interview and you learned a lot. For me, I learned a lot today from the best title reps.
Thank you.
And thank you so much. I'm
Enjoyed
gonna
being here.
link your information in the description below in case you need to talk to them. They are the best. Take care and see you in the next video.